Why is there such a backlash toward working screenwriters from screenwriters who have either never sold something or maybe just sold one thing, and there's like this misconception of success?
Yeah, I think that part of that probably comes from, now we have the IMDb and your credits get posted there, but the only credits that get posted are the movies that get made, right? So you don't see the 10 other movies that the writer was hired to do that may have gone as far along as the movie I was talking about a few minutes ago about what that Todd and I did, where we got all the way into pre-production and then it got shut down. Sometimes the producers just lose interest in the project. And so there's all kinds of reasons why the movies don't get made. But I think that especially writers who are new to the business or trying to break in or something like that, they can look at somebody who's written a screenplay book and say, well, he only made one movie. I mean, I know that the Save the Cat guy, I'm not a big fan of that book, but he had written one big movie, which was Blank Check, I think it was called, or something like that. And then he wrote this book about screenwriting that a lot of people bought. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, well, it was like, so this guy wrote, all these books and he only wrote one movie. Well, no, he didn't write one movie. He wrote lots of movies. It just happens that that particular movie is the one that got made. I mean, I could easily write a book about screenwriting, and they would look at my resume and go, oh, he only had, one movie made in the last 10 years, and they'd be right according to IMDb. But they wouldn't see. I'm happy to parade out all the checks that I've gotten from other producers and other projects. You know what I mean? Look, I was there once too. Absolutely. It's before you really understand what this business is. There's a lot to this business that you don't see, that you don't know until you are in it, because you're basing. You have preconceived notions of what this business is based on what you've seen on television, what you've seen in movies about movies. Sometimes it's true. A lot of the times it's not. And that goes way back to when, making movies about movies from in the 1930s and 40s. That was never accurate.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, my God, I mean, the James Cagney movie, A Man of a Thousand Faces, which was a biography of Lon Chaney, the silent film actor, is all baloney. I mean, there's so much in that movie that is not true about movies. It's not true about Lon Chaney. You know what I mean? But I believed it when I watched that movie. When I saw it when I was younger, I was like, that's how it happens, that's how it works. That's, like I said before, that's where, you're walking on the set and the knight in shining armor is going this way and the guy in the bunny costume is going this way and the chorus girl's going that way.
What about Trumbo? Sorry to interrupt, but what about, even though...
They did their research.
They did, okay, you feel that's...
I mean, there's always going to... A screenwriter has to adapt the story to a certain degree. Now, it's up to the screenwriter and the producers how close to the truth they want to stay. These days, the closer to the truth, the better, because you're going to get ripped to shreds. Back then, nobody really cared. But now there's a lot more research available too.
That is
not just to the screenwriter who's writing the script, but to the people who are going to see the movie and they're going to go, oh, let me find out about this guy. And so, it's just like adapting a novel. You are right. You're making a movie. This is the movie. This is not real life. I'm sure Argo, the movie that Ben made, there's a lot that's not true about that story. The story is true, but movies are entertainment. I mean, you could learn something from them, hopefully, at times, but you're not telling the reality. That can be a documentary, and even those sometimes are twisted to, documentaries are making somebody understand somebody's point of view about a story, right? But, this is the job to make something that entertains, whether it makes you laugh, makes you cry, it scares you to death, just makes you feel good, whatever it is. And that's the job. And so we've been the truth from time to time.
And so the reality for a working screenwriter is you may be hired to write something. You may spend months on something, multiple drafts. You just get that one payment for completing the manuscript, or for the actual script, but then...
Well, so it's usually several payments. But
it's okay, so it's several payments, and it's, okay, they give you for the first draft and then revisions?
Exactly. So it's usually broken down like that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So you get the series of checks or whatever, with the promise that maybe more will come if it's made, and then it's never made. It's not on your IMDb. Right. So
it'll be in the contract that it'll say that the full amount based on the total budget will be paid. It'll be this amount based on this budget, and will be paid no later than first day of principal photography. So that's why we like the first day of principal check. It's very nice to get.
Sure, but then continuing on, knowing that could be a reality.
Yeah.
And that you won't always, I know you said with I Hate Kids, it sounds like just a magical experience all in all, and so many different parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it may never mimic that for a lot of people. That
yeah.
Warm, embracing, and serendipitous.
I consider this crazy business, which I love, it's always a house of cards. You can never tell when one little little card at the bottom of that thing is going to be pulled out, and then the whole thing comes crashing down. It happens all the time. So I always say, look, nothing is real until it is. And that means going right up to, you can even be shooting a movie and it can be shut down. So, it's a crazy, crazy business. And I love every minute of it.